All right, so we're going to start with color theory first. Um, if you're in my graphic design class, you probably got a longer version. If you are, basically, I'm giving you a shortened version of what my graphic design students are learning. So,
Color. It plays a vital role in design and everyday life. It can draw your eye to an image, evoke a certain mood or emotion, even communicate something important without using words at all. So how do we know which colors look good together and which ones don't? The answer is simple. Color theory. Artists and designers have followed color theory for centuries, but anyone can learn more about it. It can help you feel confident in many different situations, whether it's choosing colors for a design or putting together the perfect outfit. All it takes is a little insight, and you'll be looking at color in a whole new way. Let's start at the beginning, the very beginning, with a refresher on the basics. Remember learning about primary and secondary colors in school? Then you already have some knowledge of color theory. Red and yellow make orange, yellow and blue make green, and blue and red make purple. If we mix these colors together, we get even more in-between shades, like red-orange and yellow-green. All together, they form what's called a color wheel. You can probably see where it gets its.
does anybody kind of remember color looking like this from middle school or elementary school? Yeah. Most of you probably took some type of art class. For primaries are the colors that if say you're taking paint or colors from nature, you cannot mix other colors to make them. So our reds, our yellows, and our blues. Where do you normally see primary colors? Think of logos. Yes, by the way, you guys are taking notes this whole time. Where do you normally see these kind of colors? What logos can you think of that have a red, yellow, or blue? Walmart. McDonald's. Where? Google. Google has kind of all the colors. They tend to be very childlike. When you use just the primary colors together, they tend to be a little bit more childlike, a little bit more playful. Also, if they're just basic red, basic yellow, basic blue, they tend to also be cheaper products, such as Walmart, Target, McDonald's. No, Publix isn't color. Publix is a secondary color. Aldi. Your secondary colors are your orange, green, and purple. Those tend to be more funky. When you use just those three together, they tend to be more funky. You see them in a lot of 80s style decor. You see them in try to think. The Joker. So think of clowns. A normal clown is red, yellow, blue, fun, kind of playful. The Joker is got kind of orangey hands, green, and purple suit. So he tends to be more funky. So think of it in versions of clowns.
Name. Now, let's take it one step further with hue, saturation, and value. These are terms you might never see in daily life, but they're the key to understanding more nuanced colors, like all those little paint chips at the home improvement store. Hue is the easiest one.
This is where you're going to want to take notes. So these are some of the vocabulary you're going to want to take notes on. Hue, saturation, and value.
It's basically just another word for color. Saturation refers to intensity. In other words, whether the color appears more subtle or more vibrant. Value has to do with how dark or light the color is, ranging from black to white. As you
So again, hue is the color itself. What color am I painting? Pick what tube of paint am I grabbing? Saturation is how much. Okay, am I putting just a little dab of paint down and trying to canvas with that low dab of paint, or am I putting the whole bottle down? And then value is how light or dark. Am I adding light to it? Am I adding black to it? And this is how you can play with your colors and adjust them to how you see fit.
You can see, this gives us many different shades, from a deep reddish brown to light pastel pink. So how do we put this all together to create professional-looking color schemes? There are actually tried and true formulas based on something called color harmony that can help. All you need is the color wheel. The easiest formula for harmony is monochromatic because it only uses one color or
This is just going to introduce you to the names of them. We're going to go over them in a minute.
hue. Just pick a spot on the color wheel and use your knowledge of saturation and value to create variations. The best thing about monochromatic color schemes is that they're guaranteed to match. An analogous color scheme uses colors that are next to each other on the wheel, like reds and oranges, or cooler colors like blues and greens. Don't be afraid to play with the palette and create your own unique interpretation. That's what these formulas really are, merely starting points to help guide and inspire you. Complementary colors are opposite each other on the wheel, for instance, blue and orange, or the classic red and green. To avoid complementary color schemes that are too simplistic, add some variety by introducing lighter, darker, or desaturated tones. A split complementary color scheme uses the colors on either side of the complement. This gives you the same level of contrast, but more colors to work with, and potentially more interesting results. A triadic color scheme uses 3 colors that are evenly spaced, forming a perfect triangle on the wheel. These combinations tend to be pretty striking, especially with primary or secondary colors, so be mindful when using them in your work. Tetradic color schemes form a rectangle on the wheel, using not 1 but 2 complementary color pairs. This formula works best if you let one color dominate while the others serve as an accent. There are a few classic do's and don'ts when it comes to color. For instance, have you ever seen colors that seem to vibrate when they're placed next to each other? The solution is to tone it down.
All right. Look at those two colors next to each other. Doesn't it kind of hurt your eyes to look at that? Yeah, it really does. I hate looking at that right now. This is also accessibility. Which we're going to go into more this chapter. Because if someone is colorblind, like they may be blue or red or colorblind, if you put those colors that vibrate next to each other, is usually because of the same saturation value. Usually closer to the same saturation. And because of that, if someone's colorblind, saturation all look the same. They can't differentiate the hue as much as other people. And so they go based on saturation and value. They would not be if someone's colorblind be able to read this. Okay. If someone has any visual kind of issues, if someone is partially blind or whatever, they could not read this. On your website, you do have to account for accessibility. because if someone can't see it, like City of Orlando, they didn't do color accessibility. They didn't make sure there was enough contrast, so someone who was colorblind couldn't read it. They actually got City of Orlando actually got sued for their government website because of the fact that they did not pay attention to accessibility. So to change that, you can use the colors, but you're going to change just a little bit.
The solution is to tone it down, literally, and there's a simple way to do it. Start with one color and try adjusting its lightness, darkness, or saturation. Sometimes a little contrast is all your color palette needs. Readability is an important factor in any design. Your colors should be legible, engaging, and easy on the eyes. Sometimes that means not using color, at least not in every little detail. Neutral colors like black, white, and gray can help you balance your design, so when you do use color, it really stands out. Every color sends a message. It's important to consider the tone of your project and choose a color palette that fits. For example, bright colors tend to have a fun or modern vibe. Desaturated colors often appear more businesslike. Sometimes it just depends on the context. You'd be surprised how flexible color can be. You can find ideas for color schemes in all kinds of interesting places, from advertising and branding to famous works of art. You can even use a web resource to browse color palettes or generate your own. Even experienced designers take inspiration from the world around them. There's nothing wrong with finding something you like and making it your own. Everywhere you look, there's color, color, and more color. It can be intimidating to use it in your work, but it doesn't have to be. Just keep experimenting and remember what you've learned about color theory. Soon, choosing great-looking colors will feel like second nature.
All right. So we're going to do a short version of basically what my graphic design class got for their color theory. So I think Jaylen the only one who has both my classes. So continue taking notes on this. You will be turning in those notes, by the way. So in case you weren't already taking notes, I suggest you get your Word document open and continue taking notes. Because my graphic design class, they spent the whole week on color theory. We're spending a day. Because you guys need to know it, you need to know first accessibility. But unfortunately, I don't have time to go as depth with it. And it's something that I always help you guys around with, help you guys look at. So it's not as big of a deal. All right. So color theory. Color is actually visible light on spectrum. So it's light reflecting back on spectrum. Depending on the speed that reflects back is what the color is. So red is your slowest. Blues and purples are your fastest. So if you go scuba diving or snorkeling, and you actually go underwater, the red colors, once you get below certain depth, you can't see red at all. So the red lines and everything are because people actually took extra strobe lights down there and put extra light on them so you can see them. Otherwise, they just look blue. Because blues and purples are your ones that it's your fastest, so they can last longest. So again, the color wheel literally is a circle, usually, or it's a line. It's a spectrum. There's two different types of color. Additive, which means the more you add on top of each other, they eventually make white, which white is all the colors combined. And on the computer. So it's RGB, red, green, blue. So when you are using light, like you're using stage lights or you're using the lights on the computer, when you add red, blue, and green lights all together, they create white. If you have no light, it's black. So that would be the absence color. Subtractive color is CMYK. Cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. Okay. When you add those on top of each other, they all create black. So, and then for them, the absence of color is white. Yes. CMYK. The more you add the colors, the darker it gets. The less is going to be reflected back. Additive, the more you add, the more light is going to reflect back. So that's white. Cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. In this class, we're going to focus on RGB. Because RGB is what your computer screen uses, is what TV screens use, anything electronic that creates a display, your watch, your phone, is RGB because it's actually a bunch of little red, blue, and green lights. Like, have you ever looked at TV and you notice like there's a little bit of a red shadow because something's messed up, or there's a little blue shadow or something? It's because there's like thousands of millions of little bitty red light, blue light, green light all next to each other, and depending how much each light is showing, depending on the color that shows. And that's why monitors, every monitor color is slightly different on it. So it's never quite perfect the same. So again, additive, subtractive. So again, this is going to be our main color wheel that we're going to focus on. So saturation, if you're using this kind of color wheel, the center would be white, the edge would be like I put all my paint in one spot versus I put no paint in one spot. Okay. Hue is actually color, and then value is did I add to it? Did I add black to it? Saturation, how vivid, intense. So sometimes like saturate might be like going into a grayscale, but not there yet. Tone, there's tone, we call it value. So a shade is black, a tint is white. I'm not super picky you guys on this one. So color theory. Remember our primary and secondary. Think of those clowns. A primary clown, little clown that's little kids at circus. It's gonna be your red, yellow, and blues. Your joker is going to be that orange shirt, the purple suit, and the green hair. Because it tends to be more funky. Now there's color temperature. There's cool colors and there's warm colors. Have you guys heard of this? Especially when you guys are picking out your clothes for the day. Okay. Jump on. Yep. I'm gonna go. Jump on that. Teleport. So we have our colors. You guys have heard of that kind of like when you're picking out your clothes to look better, colors to look better than colors, stuff like that. So in this painting, what are predominant colors being shown? What colors are in this painting? Red. White is the brightest color, so normally if you have white, black, Also some orange and some yellows. What time of day do you guys think this painting was done? Go ahead, shout it out. Evening, maybe sunset, sunrise. Do you think it was summer or do you think it was winter? Say it louder. Summer. So it's probably summer. So summer, it's warm. Those colors make you feel like there's heat in the room. It's warm. It's toasty. They're typically associated with fire. Fire, red, or yellow, orange, depending on how hot it is. So it's associated with that. The sun is yellow. Trying to think. And you kind of like when you go shopping in the summer, all the signage is always yellow. It's a happy, fun color. It's warm. So in this painting, what are our warm colors here? Brianna. Yeah. Maybe some reds. Luca. What's in? So the fruits. If you know, a lot of fruits when you go to the grocery store are your colors. Because of their pit. Your pineapples are yellow, your apples are red. Yes, there's variations. But your oranges are orange. It's because you pick them during the warmer times. It looks like there's sunlight coming in because everything's bright. So this is one if you're trying to go warmer field. If you're trying to make a website for summer vacation, you're probably not going to use a lot. You may use some water, but you're not going to use a lot of cool colors. In this one, what time do you think this was? Anthony, what time of year do you think this painting was? Summer. It can also be autumn, because autumn is still warm. Autumn has not got cold yet. You still have warm days left over from summer. So cool. In this painting, what colors are predominant here? Your blues, your greens. What kind of emotion do you think this person was feeling? Sadness. Probably sad. Yeah. The warmer colors tend to be happier. Cooler colors tend to be a little bit sad, a little bit more. They don't have as much energy. Because when you're cold, all you want to do is bundle up and sit there. When it's warmer, you won't go out and do things. So there is some psychology behind this. And this is not 100% of the time. You can use your cool to be happy too. You can use your warm to be sad. But all depends on how you use them. So until you really get comfortable with color, kind of stick more towards these sides. And this one is how happy is this dude? Like not at all. He looks majorly depressed. He looked since that guitar is kind of orangey brown, that may be the only thing he likes that guitar. So that's how you tell emotions from it. Okay. Monochromatic. So we're going back to our colors. So these are ones you're going to write down. Monochromatic. Mono means one. Mono hydrogen. Monoxide. There's one oxygen in it. One, they're using one hue, but you're using different shades of it. So you may use different saturations, different values. But monochromatic means you stick, I'm sticking to only blues, or I'm sticking to only oranges, or I'm sticking to only greens. So in this painting, they stuck to just orange and brown. They used some white, some black to do your shades, but they stuck to just one color. And it kind of when you do monochromatic, it tends to be very cohesive. It means everything ties together very easily when you use one color. So if you're not quite sure, stick to a monochromatic scheme. Okay? If you're unsure what color, stick to monochromatic. Pick one color and go with that. It's very cohesive. Again, black and white. You can't go wrong with black and white. Purple. Everything is one color with some whites and blacks in there. Different shades, but all looks like it. Even though obviously none of this was bought from the same store, none of this was bought from the same line, it all ties together. And blues. There's some blues. Analogous. So write this down. Analogous. This is one word I can't say. And it's basically the colors that are right next to each other. So if you're the color wheel, you're green. It's the ones right next to each other. So maybe blue green, and it may be yellow green. It can stretch out farther. It can be green to blue and yellow. It could be all those three. So it's whatever they can reach to the next or over. Those can be also very cohesive. Though you do pick one color in the center. That's going to be your dominant color. And then from there, reach out to each side of the color wheel. Those can also be easily cohesive. So in this painting, everything kind of has the same feel. You got the green, you got yellow, and you got blue. It's a little bit wider of an analogous. But everything kind of it's like everything's staying in the same corner. So you're kind of grabbing everything in the same corner, trying to keep it together. So can be very cohesive. You can pick different again. You can always pick different saturation values of it. Just to it keeps it nice and together. It's one of the easy color schemes. If you're not sure what to do, pick a monochromatic and analogous. Okay, complementary. One is across from the other. It's no coincidence that Christmas is green and red. That's absolutely no coincidence. It's because they're complementary. These are great if you need high contrast. So if you want contrast, you don't want the drawing your eye to one place too quickly. Your monochromatic analogous are low contrast. Your high contrast means there's a huge difference. Your eyes don't go one piece over the other. Usually use complementaries. You got your red and green, your blue and yellow, lime colors. No points on that. No, I'm sorry. Blue and orange. Gator colors. No points on that. Purple and yellow is Winter Springs or LSU. No points on that. Again, very high contrast. Do you remember like High School Musical 2? Sharpay was always lime green and hot pink. And that's because they were complementary colors. Very high contrast, very standout, very bold. You want to be blend your face. You're going to lean towards the complementaries. In this painting, where does your eye go first? Where? to the yellow. Because it's significant. There's so much contrast. Your eye automatically goes one place, and then it kind of looks elsewhere. Here, sometimes your eye goes to what's different. So if everything is color, and something else is a different color, your eyes go to what's different. The human eye automatically goes to the imperfections. So if you ever wonder why you constantly see what's wrong, it's because the human eye naturally looks at what's different or what's imperfect. So here, while we have all this orange that's nice and bright, our eye first goes to the dude down because he's so different. He's the only dark color here. Here, we kind of go towards the red. The red's a little more vibrant. So we're like, there's a door. What's going on? And then we go, white is the brightest color. So if you have to do a website and you want to make sure something is right, do a dark background and do white, and I can tell you for sure that person will go there first. Here we got some complementary colors. So again, obviously you're going to look here, and this is a couple sets of complementary colors. So it's almost complementary, a little bit analogous. So you can play around with them. So we got our purple and yellow. We also got little bit more blue and orange here. So it's almost like a whole group. If you when you're dressing up, if you want to make sure you're the first person that they see, if you want to be one that everyone turns their head and looks at, you're going to dress in complementary colors because you want to make that bold statement. Is usually what it is. So if you go out in that purple coat and the yellow dress and purple heels, someone is stop and turn and look at you because you are something that they're going to eye too quickly instead of the person who's wearing all black. Triadic again are your sets of three. Primaries. Your primaries, your secondaries, and then you can take it kind of rotate it around to get those tertiary colors. So those are the blues, the red yellows, red orange, blue green. So you can rotate it around and play with your tertiary colors. So here, this is a workspace, but it's kind of fun. It's Maybe they make stuff for children. Maybe this makes stuff for children. They tend to be a lot younger crowd. They're not the old people. They tend to be a lot younger, so that's why they use bright primary colors. This is like the 80s furniture. Okay. They want that. They want to be bold in your face, but they don't want. They want to be funky. They want to be different. Okay, so if you're trying to be different, go for your, and you have tertiary, go for your secondary colors. Because they look good together. They're kind of fun. Not something we normally play with. I doubt a bedroom looks like this. I doubt that. So again, if you don't know what you want, pick a color based on psychology, and then play around from there. You can pick some chromatics, some analogous, some complementary, some triadics, and figure out which one you think are best for your site. All right. We're going to go ahead and watch color psychology video. Because I do want you guys to kind of understand, There we go. Again, for you online, it's on campus. You want to grab it there to hear the audio.
You see them every single day. When you go to the store, when you turn the TV on. But the real question is, do you understand it? and the psychology behind them. All of the biggest brands in the world pay people millions of dollars to figure out how they can get customers to do what they want. Because at the end of the day, small changes can result in huge sales. From the moment you open your eyes in the morning, your brain is flooded with over 7 million colors. Believe it or not, some colors can even give you a headache. Once you understand the psychology behind colors, you'll be better equipped to take on the world. With an understanding of the basic colors, you can become a better marketer and make more sales. You can use the power of certain colors to influence
Give me a second.
people and make yourself more persuasive. Knowledge of color psychology can even help you read another person's personality just by looking at the color of their car. Although we see the world in 7 million different colors, most
So say you're going on a date with someone and they pick you up in your car. Look at the color of the car. It's going to tell you something about their personality. If they bought the car themselves. So if they have a car, they might have a fiery personality. Blue tends to be calming. Green, very earthy. White, innocent. Black, a little bit darker. So literally, like, this is stuff you can use in your everyday life. How do you want to dress to go to an interview to make them think? When you learn color theory, you become master manipulators of other people's emotions, of what other people think of you. So you can play around with the colors on how you dress, what your car is, even your notebooks, like all my stuff is in blue. Because a white van is not suspicious. White van is very suspicious, not innocent. But they're trying to pick up people who are innocent. It's not 100%. I will say that's not 100%. But I'm saying kind of a... You can guess something about it. Okay? You can't guess everything. You can guess something. See, cupcake and white van, just run. Okay? Like seriously, just run. But they have yellow, they come in like a little yellow bug. Okay. Maybe they're a little bit more fun. They tend to be a happier, optimistic person. They come pick you up in a blue soccer mom van. Okay, they're calm. They kind of accept the fact that they probably are going to be a soccer mom, soccer dad. Green, like a green CRV. They're probably outdoorsy people. They need something that gets around because they're constantly doing things outdoors. They're constantly biking or hiking and stuff like that. See, you can play around and guess it somewhat.
by looking at the color of their car. Although we see the world in 7 million different colors, most people don't have the slightest clue how colors affect their mood and purchasing decisions. By wearing certain colors, you can make people feel a certain way, which could help you succeed in a variety of different situations. For example, imagine you have an interview tomorrow and you really want the job, but there is a long list of applicants before and after your interview. Now, the color blue is associated with loyalty and trust, so the simple act of wearing blue to the interview will make the hiring manager unconsciously trust you more. Imagine you have a major business deal coming up or some other important event. By wearing blue, you'll seem more trustworthy and the business deal is more likely to turn out in your favor. This is just one example of what one color can do for you. Another major color is black, and although it might not seem very exciting, it has powerful psychological effects on the observer. The psychology behind the color black says that it reflects power and authority, but it could also make you appear to be sinister or evil. If you're trying to attract girls who want to be with an authoritative man, then don't forget to customize your wardrobe with black clothes. Black also has slimming effects, and it works wonders for people who are overweight and need to look slimmer for a special event. Do me a favor and think about some of the biggest brands you know and see every day. There is a good chance that many of these companies include the color red in their logo. The psychology behind the color red shows it to reflect strength, power, and energy. Red is a very eye-catching color, which is why you'll notice that many sports cars are painted this color. By wearing bright
So think of Target versus Walmart. When do you normally go to Walmart? When you're tired? When you're like, man, it's 8 o'clock and I really gotta get my groceries? Do you see the people of Walmart who come in their pajamas or who knows what? Okay, blue is that calming color. They make you feel trustworthy. You come any time of the day, however you want. But when you go to Target, kind of dress up a little bit. You kind of go around the whole Target, and everyone knows that meaning, like go into Target and buy like 10 things more than you actually needed. Does everyone know that one? Please don't make me feel old. Okay, everyone wake up. Wake up. Okay. So that's kind of different between like Walmart and Target. Think of the colors of their logos. Walmart tends to be the bougie pumpkin spice moms. Walmart tends to be you're there at midnight because you don't know what else to do. Okay. Not saying that about the company, but that tends to be sometimes I get out of it.
bright red clothing, you can attract attention to yourself, and when people look at this color, it causes their heart rate and breathing to speed up. In fact, red is so stimulating that adding too much of it to your outfit can actually cause irritation in an observer. In fact,
Okay. Red, if you notice, you don't go in places and the walls are painted red. There's a reason for that, because it actually irritates people more to see too much red. Physiologically, so physically it does actually make your body, the heart rate does increase when you see red. Maybe 1 or 2 beats, maybe a lot, depending on what it is. Or when you are angry, you see red. You see you're just completely angry. Your heart rate increases. That's what it means. So red tends to be passionate, whether it's passionate love or passionate anger. It tends to be very passionate, very high energy.
red is so stimulating that adding too much of it to your outfit can irritate an observer. If you're not convinced, just ask the MMA fighter who, in one study, wore red to make himself seem as more of a threat to the other fighter. When processed through the retina and into usable brain signals, our subconscious mind associates the color red with danger. The next time you are sitting in your car at a red light or stop sign, ask yourself why these traffic controls feature the color red. Red can also make you appear more attractive to women, but it might also make you seem dangerous at the same time. Now, blue is another major color, and it's the main color for my channel logo. The psychology behind the color blue makes us feel relaxed and calmer, but when overused, it can make you feel depressed. Once you realize that blue signals trust and loyalty, it should be easy to understand why it's the main color for my channel logo. Many of the top brands in the world use the color white because it reflects purity and innocence. Why do you think a wife wears a white dress at the wedding? Our subconscious mind tends to associate white with good and black with evil. In fact, in Chinese philosophy, the yin and yang symbol is a great example of white as good and black as evil. If you have ever visited
Now, depending on the culture, your color psychology can change. In America, in Europe, white is innocent, white is good, black is evil, black is dirty. If you go to India or to Egypt, white is actually seen as bad. It seems like it's the absence of everything. Whereas black, when the Nile River floods every year, it deposits all the silt and turns the soil black. And when it does that, it actually creates a better harvest. So for them, black is the better color. In India, it's actually seen as bad luck to wear white to a wedding. If you look at Indian weddings, they're actually super colorful. The girls do not wear white dresses. No one wears. So make sure you pick on what your target audience is. So when it's outside America, you gotta go back and do your research on what does this color mean to them. And China, red is actually seen as very lucky, and because they every year they on their Chinese Year they give red envelopes with money in it, and that's seen as good luck. Red and yellow is seen as luck and royalty there. Where if you look at America, which we kind of sent from Europe, purple is our royalty color because it used to be so expensive to create purple dots and purple paint. It used to be incredibly expensive because you could only get like one type of snail, and you crush it, so only royalty wore purple.
Visited a website that uses green as the primary color scheme, think about how it made you feel. The psychology behind green is relaxing, and it can help make your vision clearer. In fact, the walls of many factories are painted green for this purpose. The color green can have powerful effects on an observer and make him feel relaxed and calm. The next time you take a walk with nature and see all of the towering green trees above your head and the meadows of green grass beneath your feet, you'll know exactly why you feel relaxed and calm. Yellow is another major color, and you should be able to think of a few major brands that use this color in their logo. The psychology behind yellow reveals it as an irritating color, and I kid you not, many fast food restaurants paint their walls yellow to dissuade customers from staying too long. Like red, yellow is also a flashy color, and it can increase the heart rate and metabolism of the viewer. Yellow also has an effect on your mood, and it tends to stir up feelings of optimism in the observer. The color purple is actually a mixture of blue and red, and it causes people to feel calm and powerful. If you want to be associated with authority, wealth, and elegance, add purple to your outfit. Like the color white, pink reflects kindness and innocence. If you want to be viewed as helpful, add some pink to your outfit. So now that you understand the major colors and the psychology behind them, you should know how this knowledge can be used to read another person's personality. Once you have studied psychology long enough, you'll start to realize that the colors surrounding a person can directly or indirectly tell you a lot about his personality. The secret is paying attention to the cars, clothes, and gadgets that he owns. Imagine you walk into a gym and see 15 different people, all going about their business and trying to get stronger and healthier. Without this knowledge, you would never consider the colors of their iPods, wristbands, shoes, or water bottles, and what they can tell you about each person's personality. The color black is preferred by empowered people, and these individuals are never easy to manipulate. A black wristband might also signify mystery and indicate the person is hiding a part of their personality. It might come as a surprise that black cars are involved in more accidents than cars of any other color. One of the easiest ways to glimpse a person's personality is by looking at the color of his car. It is said that owners of dark blue cars tend to be practical, calm, and loyal, and they drive much more carefully and cautiously than people who own black cars. Now, the owner of a red car is likely to be energetic and showy, and this person wants to get your attention. People who own a purple car are unique, and they usually don't care what others think about them. The owner of a purple car wants you to know that he or she is one of a kind. White cars reflect purity and innocence, and if you own this car, you might be a status-seeking extrovert. Now, the owner of a green car is calm and cares about the environment, and yellow cars are likely to carry people who have an optimistic personality. Another extremely common color is silver, and if this is the color of your car, you are less likely to get in an accident. Silver cars represent a calm, cool personality. Now, before we continue, keep in mind that the color of a person's car might also be nothing more than the color they were stuck with because they couldn't afford a different color, which is much more likely with older, less expensive cars. Now, when trying to read someone's personality with colors, you can never go off of a single data point. You have to look at the bigger picture. You'll have much more success with this knowledge by looking at the colors of the person's clothes, smartphone, car, room, and any other item that is an extension of that person, such as the color of his room. Before I leave you today, I want to ask you a simple question. How much better of a salesman could you become once you understand the psychology behind colors, how much better do you think you would be?
Alright, so you guys can see how color can manipulate people, can basically already tell you something about the person. For you guys, the color of each other's backpacks. If they picked out their backpack and their mom didn't pick it out for them, you can probably tell about those people. A black backpack, okay, they may be more practical, they may think durability over style. You get the colorful backpacks, okay, they tend to be more fun, they want to show their personality a lot more. So these are things that you can use in everyday life outside of web design. So I want you to go to the internet real quick, and you're going to go to this website called color.adobe.com. And this is a really awesome website to make yourself a color palette. And so when I suggest when you guys work on your web informational website again, go here and play around to figure out what color you want. Because what's really fun is you can literally take colors and drag them, and on the left-hand side there's color harmony. So you can pick what you want analogous, you want thematic, you want triadic, complementary, split complementary, double split complementary, square is what we need to talk about, compound, shades. And then what I like to do, especially if I'm doing monochromatic, is I start here on my base color, and then I switch over to custom, and then I switch them individually. And down here you can see their RGB values. So, and that hexadecimal. So that color that we type in, that's the pound symbol or hashtag symbol, and then some numbers and letters. You can actually figure out your colors here and then copy that into your code. Enough notes that you understand what's going on. So go ahead and copy and paste this website into your notes so you have it. And then what you guys do is play around and make a color wheel or a color scheme that's based on your personality. And then you're going to screenshot it and upload it.